Well, here we are again, folks. This Brother P with tidbits from the Word. We are now in chapter 7, and we are on the subject of Noah going into the ark. We have come from chapter 1 in 15 of these. We are now on 16th one, and we're in it. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark. For thee have I seen righteous before me in the generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female, of the fowls also of the air by 7, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth. We're going to stop right there for a second in 4. The reason why. Why did he take 2? To keep the seed alive on the earth. 2 of the same sex would not do it. So he said take 2 of each. And why did he take 7 of the clean? Because when they first got over there and the ark landed, they were going to have to make an offering of first fruits. The first fruit was going to be an offering. So they were going to have to take that 7th animal, and rather than to kill a mate, they took the odd animal, the 7th one, and sacrificed it when the ark landed. And so let's go on in verse 4. I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. Now, verse 6 clarifies the age of Noah, and this is how we're going to see how many days Noah was in the ark. Because God made a way of registering the days and nights and the hours and the weeks and the months and the years by the way he talked about how the people, how long they lived and what they did. And verse 5, let's go back to verse 4. And for yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. By the way, verse 3, listen to it again. Listen to verse 2. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7, the male and the female. I need to go all the way back up to 1. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come, thou and all thy house into the ark. The second time, God says, I'm in the ark. Come in, he said. Come, thou and bring these animals. God was in the ark. God came down and dwelt in the ark with Noah. Noah was in the place of safety in the ark, but he also had God with him. That's the picture of you and I in the world today. We have God in us. After we ask Jesus to forgive us of our sin, come into our heart and save our soul, we have God in us. And that's what we need. Now we see here that God is in the ark. Now let's jump back down in verse 5. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. Do you know that's all God requires today for you and I to do? Is on what he commands. What does he command? Well, how do I know, you say, what God commanded? Well, we have the Word, the written Word of God. The Word, in the beginning was the Word. And John, go over to the book of John and read it. It said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. That was Jesus. And then when Jesus went back to the Lord, he became back the Word. And now we have the Word, and we can live from this Word, this living Bible. This is a living Bible. We can live from this Bible. This is a living Bible. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wives, and his wife's son with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of the clean beast, and of the beasts that are not clean, and of the fowls, and of every living thing that creepeth upon the earth. Then went in two, and Noah unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. Verse 10. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. God waited 7 days before he closed the door. They sat there for 7 days and didn't move a muscle. They just sat there and waited. And God said, is there any more? Is there any more? Is there any more? It's just like over in Revelation chapter 22. God said, whosoever knock on the door, I'll come in and sup with him and he with me, or I'll answer him. And God always gives the last chance, and he gave the last chance here for man, woman, boy, girl, or any other animals, or whatever, to get on that ark. And that's what he did. It said in the 600th year of Noah, in Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 7th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. Now remember, this is 1600 years to the year after God created the earth. It had not rained on this earth for 1600 years. And the Lord caused now the water not only to come down from above, but to burst out from beneath the earth. You remember, the earth was covered with water. God suppressed the earth, and the water went down into the earth, and that's where we get our fresh water from, even today. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah, and Ham, and Shem, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and his 3 wives of his sons, with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing after that kind upon the earth, after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, and every bird after his sort. Verse 14. God has already now clarified to us about 5 times that everything was to be after its own kind and was to produce male and female, and it was to never be changed. There is no such a thing as anything other than male and female is not of God. And the earth broke up, and the heavens were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and nights. And the self same day entered Noah, and Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and them. All right, verse 16. And they went in male and female of all the flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days and nights upon the earth. And the water increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. All the high hills that were under heaven were covered. Don't miss that. 15 cubits upward And all flesh died that was upon the earth that wasn't in the ark. And all whose nostrils that breathed air for life